Hello everyone, this is Ice-T from Critical. I'm going to go over some of the Vet Stormtalon dungeon bosses, so that way you guys can see some of the mechanics and kind of a look and feel of what we did and some of my tips that have helped me through this. This is a Spellslinger healing point of view, so hopefully you enjoy and get something out of it. Have a good one. Hey everyone, this is Ice-T. This is the first boss of Stormtalon, so I'll go ahead and go over some of the mechanics here to this boss fight. Not too difficult, he's a pretty easy boss, honestly, especially if you're just working on silver and not necessarily the challenge, but either way, he's pretty easy. He's got the three phases to this fight. I'll kind of go over them as they come up. Alright, so this is the first boss of Stormtalon's Lair. Fairly easy fight. So this is phase one. Basically, it's red cross and red little orbs that the Pels shoot out. Uh, Basically, you just want to avoid the red orbs and stun the red cross for the moment of opportunity, or moo. Uh, but otherwise, yeah, just keep doing that, and you should be good to go. After the phase switch is actually signified by the subdue, which you basically drop your weapon. Once that happens, try to find your weapon. If not, just run over to a Pel, and he won't be really doing any damage at that point. So healers, you don't need to worry about topping too many people off, as long as they're not getting hit by stuff. But otherwise, basically all you're wanting to do is you'll see the little red dot and you want to drop it on a Pel. That makes them vulnerable to damage. Once a Pel goes down, they summon this little orb of the lightning that kind of revolves around the room. Basically, you're going to want to avoid that as it does stun you, as you saw just a few seconds ago from me, because I ran into one. As part of the challenge, basically you just want to drop those orbs on top of every Pel, or drop every one of those orbs onto a Pel, and that's pretty much the challenge, and essentially the challenge gives you free loot, so this one's not too difficult. Basically you just want to make sure that you're dropping them and then proactively moving to the next Pel prior to the other one dying. As like I said, the moment of damage that you could do does last for a little while on them. So that's pretty much it. Once all four are dead, you will do a subdue again. At which point you basically just go around, grab your weapon, and start doing the heals, damage, tanking what you need to do. He does a room-wide AoE that is also stunnable. It's advised to do that, as it does again open up that moment of opportunity for you guys to do a little bit more damage on the boss and wreck his face a little. So do that as much as possible where you can. Make sure your stun orders are set up, and then pretty much this fight's a piece of cake once you get that all worked out. So with that, basically, in the event that you see those little areas of pretty much safety that you can get into. They're not too hard. Again, you just want to avoid getting hit by those orbs. We like to kind of stand a little bit close to the bosses. They move just a little bit slower than the ones on the outside edges. So that should help you out a little bit. But again, your focus should be actually getting those stunts off. And that's pretty much the first boss. He's pretty easy. Alright guys, this is the second boss of Stormtalon, Athros. I'll go ahead and do a quick synopsis of the fight. Pretty easy for phase one, just basically tank and spank, get some ads, put the red circles on the wall, and that's about it. So, yeah, basically, tank, just pick him up. He should drag him over to either one of the sides or to the back of the room, and the reason is this. At one point, he will disappear, summon 3 ads. Everybody should stack up for that phase, and then basically put those little red circles that one person will get off to the side of the room, because they stay there for the entire fight. So if you put them in the middle, you're going to have a hard time running back to the boss to stun him, which in the event that you don't stun him, he basically will wipe the raid. During the beginning part of that phase, you'll notice that he drops basically lightning on everyone, and then he'll do a single strike of lightning. So for here, basically you're just running back to the center of where he is. The tornadoes are spinning, lightning strikes are going down. You can basically get hit by one of each, and this is coming from a Clothy's perspective, and you will be very close to death if you get hit by both a lightning and a tornado, or a double tornado, or 2 lightning strikes, but getting hit by more than that is pretty much going to kill you. And your group will be a little sad, especially if you're the healer, which has happened, thankfully not on this run. So, with that being said, again, just to kind of dodge the lightning strikes that everybody gets, and move out of the room, move out of the way for the single ones. And this fight doesn't really get any easier than this. That's it. So again, he dissipates. One of the challenges, or 2 of the challenges here, or one is to kill all 3 of these guys within 15 seconds is one challenge. The second one is basically don't get hit by tornadoes. As you can see from my attempt a little bit earlier, I actually failed that part for our team, as did another one of our group members, so we were a little bummed about that one because it's normally pretty easy. But again, just kind of watch where those lightning strikes are coming. They do kind of go in a line from their point of origin, and I believe it is 3 or 4. So at this point, basically the tornadoes do not stop moving, and he will randomly move around the room, so you can either make the decision to wait for him to come back to the tank, or basically just move with them. We like tanking him originally at that little derpy tornado because it's really slow and kind of makes it a little bit easier to move around and maneuver around. As when you get closer to the faster tornadoes, it can get a little hairy just because of those red circles that everybody gets from the lightning strikes, and dodging into those and out of the tornadoes can be a little rough. Again, you can get hit by one. It won't kill you. Getting hit by more than one or Venn diagramming yourself will murder you. And again, your party will be a little sad and out of DPS. As you can see, purple gloves dropped from that boss. I believe it was due to a challenge. I think we got the 15-second one down. But either way, I've seen them drop off of him before. So that's about it. Yep, so this portion is basically the optional boss that we ended up lotting. He's pretty easy. I mean, honestly, it's just he does Dust Convergence, which will stun one person, and summon a couple of adds, which hit brutally hard, and then spawn 2 little tornado circles that go away pretty quickly. So out of the 2, stun Dust Convergence. It will make your life as a healer much easier, your tank will appreciate it, and it's probably so weird DPS, because they don't need a DPS that those guys down either. But that's it for this portion. Alright, and here is the 3rd boss of Stormtalons, the jump boss. Only because time is so short on getting these silver medal runs done for this, kind of cutting corners where you can, skipping bosses and things like that. You want to do that. So basically this, you're back into the room of Aethros, moving up the fire pillar there, and then jumping to the little crevice up there. So again, if you need to rewatch that to figure out where it is, feel free to do so. But again, it's in the room of Aethros, fire pit. You just jump up to the little edge, jump up onto the wooden beam, then the canvas, move over and jump across the wooden beam to the kind of crevice, and that's pretty much that easy to get to. I'm just basically adjusting my las to enhance Purify to remove the root and snare. This boss does apply a snare with his chomp attack, which basically is the cone in front of him. Not only does it snare the tank, it also applies a debuff. So getting a cleanse, at least for the debuff, is kind of important, as it does a stacking debuff that increases the amount of lightning damage you take, which can be problematic as the pushback is a lightning-based attack, the lightnings are a base attack, and so are the little donut holes that kind of drop periodically throughout the various phases. So we'll go over that as we can, and enjoy this fight. It's a doozy. Alright, guys, this is Stormtalon. Basically, as you saw my lads there, I had that cleanse on my bar. That helps the tank out a little bit. This is the knockback move. If you tilt your camo just a little bit and strafe to the boss, it makes this a little bit easier to get to him. You can use basically any gap closers to get there. Spellslinger is your little host, as our gap closer also is our CC. Make sure that you guys are at least getting enough CCs on that guy to get him stunned. Otherwise, you will kill the party if you do them too early. So again, that lightning strike that he's doing is basically once it hits the tank, it hits somebody else, whoever's closest. So you want to be close if you're the healer to get those cleanses off and make sure that nobody else is getting gibbed by that. I was pretty far out of position when he was moving back, so you saw me use my gap closer there, but try not to. So this is very important. Donut phase. Do not leap, dodge, void slip, sprint, or anything else. You can basically walk out of the thing, stutter step, walk backwards, whichever one you feel comfortable with, but don't sprint. It's pretty easy. Try to stay within melee range. If you have melee guys, if it's all range, then not a huge deal where you are, but just try to get there, and that should help out in that portion of the phase. So this part, you're basically just getting out of those little donuts, walking out of them. It's fairly easy to do. It's not too difficult. And like I said, just keep cleansing the tank. Make sure that he's good to go. Heal everybody up as best you can. Most of the stuff is avoidable except that knockback. Pretty much hits everyone. Not really a whole lot to do here. Again, donut phase, can't stress this enough. Don't dodge, sprint, leap, gate, anything along those lines. Otherwise you will kill people. And that's always bad, especially trying to get those silvers done. So I'm basically just trying to maneuver myself back to the tank. Otherwise I'll have to end up cleansing someone, because that does do a stacking debuff that hurts with the any lightning ability. But that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please like if you liked it, and let me know if there's any future content you'd like me to do for you.